Good day, fish tankers. This is the sight that greets me in the mornings when all these guys want breakfast. This is a planted tank, as you can see, but all these fish are not necessarily the ideal fish for a planted aquarium, although I make it work with the way this tank is set up. You want to avoid fish ideally that are big like these clown roaches that will uproot more delicate plants, or that bristlenose pleco that will eat certain broadleaf plants. So as I've said, it works in this particular planted tank, but these guys won't make my top 10 for fish for planted aquariums. And then of course over and above them, what's obviously out are fish like these silver dollars that will simply make a salad out of your plants. Which fish can't fail in a planted tank? Stick around and let's talk about that. At number 1, we've got the red neon blue eye rainbow. These are one of the dwarf rainbows of the family Cirromugil. We'll get to the bigger ones later, but this is a sort of a not so common fish, and as you can see, the males when they display with their fins there, they really are beautiful, and it's a small nano fish, so you don't need a big aquarium for these guys, but do keep them in a group of at least 8 or more, and make sure you have both males and females, and they make a lovely display in a planted nano tank. You really cannot go wrong with them if you can find them. Then we have a lamb chop rasbora, also called the Espai rasbora. It's the sort of less famous of the two kinds of harlequin rasboras. This one has got a smaller black triangle, but if you put them under a very nice light, they can really pop, and they are more of a tight shoulder than your normal harlequin rasbora, so that's why I took them instead. I think that's a very good choice for a planted aquarium. Now if you're looking for a smaller centerpiece fish, you can't go wrong with a honey gourami. They're quite peaceful. You see the male there, and their colors really start popping, giving you a bit of blue in the dorsal fin and reddish. They like a well planted tank, and they like to have some floating plants maybe and lots of cover. I just have a single male. You can keep them in pairs if a tank is slightly bigger, but it's not a shoaling fish, so you can just have a single specimen or pair, and they're a small peaceful gourami, and they're a great addition to a planted aquarium, gives you that yellow and orange. Then the rosy tetra has been in a hobby for very long, but they're often overlooked, and when they settle in the planted aquarium, as you can see these males displaying, they become this deep red or deep pinkish color, which I think is very pleasant, and I've never had them nibbling on my plants, which you sometimes find with the larger tetras like emperor tetras. But these have been great in my planted tank. You can see some of them are getting a bit on in years, and this is just a normal aquarium light. It's not a fancy light which they are under now. It's a partial spectrum light, but it's one of the cheaper varieties. So they don't nip fins, they don't eat plants, and they do, if you feed them well and you have them in a settled environment, they do get very nice colors where they can be quite drab when you see them over in the dealer's tank like most fish, and they don't bite fins like the Serpes sometimes does. Then the cherry barb. Now here you see him in one of these high-tech, high-end lights in a fancy aquascape, and they really have that very nice red, deep wine red color, and they do not nip fins. They are the one barb that is peaceful that I've had with angels and all kinds of other fish, guppies, and I've never had problems with them. Keep them in a good sized group, mix the males and females together, and once again, they don't need a fancy light to really pop. These are once again under a cheaper aquarium light. This is not under the Chihiros that I have today, and just look at them. Then the ember tetra. If we're looking at the smaller nano fish, as you see them here in the dealer's tank, they're sort of orangey, but they are very peaceful little fish. They're small little nano fish, but they're a little bit broader in the body, more heart-shaped, so they don't get gobbled up so easily by slightly larger fish. Don't nip fins, don't eat plants. Keep them in a large group of 8 or more. You know, make a much better display under the high-end lights. Their color also looks better, but I think they're good enough as is. Then the rainbow fish. It's a big family of fish. I'm talking now about your bigger rainbows, the Melanotanias genus. These are Busmani rainbows. You can see the color coming through, but that's what they become when they are fully grown. What you must look out for with these fish is they do not like very soft acidic water. They need a bit of hardness in the water. pH is not that important. I would say have it at least at 7, but have a 6 degrees or so of hardness, or a little bit more. Here we see the Western rainbow fish. I always struggle with a common name, had them in the hobby for years. They're not always so commonplace in the shops, but these rainbow fish grow a lot bigger. So have at least a 4-foot 55-gallon tank or bigger. I had these along with Busmanis in my 5-foot tank years ago. They make for a very nice display in a planted tank, especially the more lower tech planted tanks. If you have smaller tanks, then this one, Melanatania praecox with the dwarf neon rainbow, will also work. If you have, let's say, a 20-gallon tank or a 15-gallon tank, these will work well. They're not as small as those dwarf rainbow Pseudomegal species. They're a decent sized rainbow, but they don't get as big as the previous two. And if you want to add a bit of blue in a bigger size, look at these Lake Kutubu rainbows, or sometimes also called indigo rainbows. They become a very deep blue color like you see there. And I've had the Busmani, the indigo rainbows, the Western rainbows, and the dwarf neon rainbows all together in a 5-foot tank planted aquarium, and they made a very nice display. So this is a good fish for the larger planted aquarium. Then black neon tetras. Now hear me out, they look sort of unimpressive with their white stripe and black body color, but sometimes if you're now going to do a serious aquascape, and I've got stuff lying in the garage, the CO2 is there, the filters are there, I'm going to do a high-end aquascape, and I'm milling these over in my mind, because sometimes if it's going to be an aquascape and you want the attention to be on that and the plants, you don't want a fish that's going to draw the attention away. And there you see a good example of an aquascape with the black neon tetras. Obviously, the more you need them in numbers, and they have that movement and the contrast with the plants without taking away from the plants. They're a great fish in a planted tank if you really want to have a focus on the plants, and the fish must complement the plants. They work really, really well. Then I can't do it without mentioning Otocinclus. I always do, and I always will. They're great little algae eaters, part of your cleanup crew. Have them in a group of 3 or more, but make sure that the tank is big enough, there's enough biofilm there for them, and enough algae to eat. They are good at decimating the diatom algae, the film algae, especially that you get in newer tanks. They get rid of the biofilm, that white fungus-like substance that you see around spiderwood, and they are fantastic for that and very peaceful, and they stay small. So a great member of your cleanup crew, these little catfish. The last member is not a fish, it's the Amano shrimp, but you know you can't talk about planted tanks without including these. They will eat the hair algae that your Otocinclus don't get to. That fuzzy algae, that's what they will tackle. So the Amano shrimps, about 1 Amano shrimp per 10 liters of water volume, that should take care of any hair algae. And with these algae eaters, keep in mind that you need to feed them if there's no algae. Well, that's it from me, people. Let me know in the comment section which are your favorite fish for planted aquariums. Please remember to subscribe, and until we see each other again, take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.